Mount Ashwa.
There will be a blizzard soon.
Snowflakes find their way onto Zayne's outstretched hand. He had taken some time to observe them before reaching this conclusion. Zayne looks like a real winter's emissary. I mimic him, holding out my hands and waiting for a snowflake to fall onto them. But as the snow melts on my palm, I'm confused and unable to understand the reasoning behind Zayne's assessment. My navigator happens to have a weather forecast feature too?
After doing research in the Arctic for several years, I managed to pick up some skills.
It's all from experience, huh? Zayne approaches me and brushes off the snow on my hair.
Plus, some lessons learned from my own recklessness.
He looks around until his gaze falls onto a nearby cabin with a blue sign.
Let's rest at the safe spot for now. Once the blizzard ends, we can continue our quest.
Even though I know the weather simulation would be realistic, I never expected it to actually create a snowstorm.
It's probably to enhance the player's immersion. Otherwise, one could just stroll into the ice palace and grab the treasure without any difficulty.
As we talk, we reach the entrance of the small cabin with the blue sign. The wooden door creaks open, and a space untouched by ice and snow is illuminated. As Zayne lights the fireplace, flickering flames come to life. Their gentle warmth envelops the cabin. Outside, grayish-white snow swirls in the wind and freely dances upon the region. Weird. The soundproofing in the wooden cabin appears to be really good. Leaning closer to the glass, I tilt my head and try to listen for any noise, but all I can hear is the crackling of the fireplace.
You shouldn't be that close. A blizzard can destroy the window. Sit by the fireplace. It'll keep you warm.
Zayne drags me over to the fireplace. The wicker chair isn't that big. There is just enough room for me to be snuggled against his chest, though. I get it. You're using the fireplace as an excuse to cuddle and stay warm. Nevertheless, I sit down next to Zayne and scoot closer to him.
If you knew what my actual goal was, then why did you still move?
Because I also have the same goal. And in Zayne's arms, I shift into a cozier position to enjoy his warm embrace.
I'm honored to be your personal heater after serving as your navigator.
The crackling sound of the fireplace fills the air. I reach out to it, its warmth gradually seeping into my body. Do you think the treasure the villagers mentioned is something like this?
A treasure that brings warmth in winter. The concept is similar enough.
But visiting the ice palace for firewood would be pointless. They could just go into the forest.
Perhaps the treasure is a self-heating energy stone. Winter's emissaries are like torchbearers. They've been entrusted with the responsibility of bringing energy to the village.
Enveloped in the fireplace's warmth, I can't help but stretch. I'm content. Zayne, your imagination got a little too wild there.
Then what sort of fantasy would you like to listen to?
I want to hear you talk about childhood memories. When we were kids, wasn't there a snowstorm that trapped you in my house? Zayne is deep in thought, his chin resting on top of my head.
At the time, my parents and I went to your place for dinner. Then it suddenly started snowing. It was getting late, and our car wouldn't start. We had no choice but to spend the night there. However, you had already returned to your room. We barely talked that day.
There's a delicate tremble in Zayne's words, as if they've been transformed into tangible fragments of memories. As children, could Zayne and I ever imagine ourselves nestled by the fireplace one day, enjoying an idle conversation? What a pity. Maybe it's because I went to bed too early. I don't remember anything about that day. If only I had known sooner. His breath above me gradually steadies. I pause and look up. Then, I quietly chuckle to myself. He fell asleep. Zayne, who was talking just a moment ago, had closed his eyes and drifted into a land of dreams. Well, our journey here did take quite a toll on us. I can also nap for a bit. I close my eyes and fall asleep in Zayne's embrace. It's a nice fragrance. Is that tea I smell? When I wake up, I find myself lying down on the cabin's soft bed. Zayne is at the table with the kettle. Noticing me get up, he puts a teacup on the table.
You're awake? Here. I just finished brewing some tea.
I hold up my drink, and my slightly cold hands are warm once again. Outside the window, the blizzard has already subsided. What can only be seen are snowflakes elegantly falling. There's still no sun. It feels like I only dozed off for a moment. How come the blizzard is gone already?
This weather is but a simulation. Can't keep players trapped for too long.
Do you think the snowstorm hears the wishes of winter's emissaries? And that's why it stopped? What is it?
It's nothing. I was thinking that this blizzard may have heard the wishes of winter's emissaries. They wanted to stay together, so it appeared.